Hello and welcome to another episode of Mic Drop, the weekly video series where we discuss online marketing for small businesses and franchises. I'm Mike Peters, Online Media Director here at J. Miller Marketing, 16-year industry veteran, and your host for today's episode. Today's episode is a great one. Not that they aren't all great ones, but this one is particularly great because it hits a point that lots and lots of clients come up to us, lots of frustration we're feeling, and that is with the Facebook ad approvals process. So, how many times has this happened to you? You make a post on your Facebook business page, or you post or you boost an ad on Facebook, and you get an email from faceless Facebook. They're saying your post or your boost was in policy violation, and that just provides you a link to their policies, and that's it. It just says you're down. Doesn't tell you what you broke, how to fix it, nothing. It's just a link to what you could have potentially done wrong. You look at those policies, and you look at what you posted, and you're like, I did not violate any of these. And so you appeal the verdict, and you write back to Facebook, and you're like, this post was okay, please look at it again. And they come back to you and they say, no, your post was not okay. And now this case is closed. This is our final word. And that's it. You have no recourse after that. They don't tell you what you did wrong. They don't tell you how to fix it. They don't tell you how to avoid it in the future. And in worst case scenario, they've actually shut down your ad account. You can do nothing on Facebook in terms of advertising anymore. Anytime you try to reach out to Facebook past that point, you're either not heard at all, or you just get the same canned response saying this was our final verdict. It's an incredibly frustrating feeling. As a business owner, I'm sure you're very, very frustrated. You're very angry at Facebook because all you're trying to do is give them money so you can reach your customer, and they're just shutting you down, and in some cases shut down permanently. And so what is a small business? What is a franchisee to do? Well, first, let me explain kind of how the ad approvals works, and then I will tell you how to fix it and get your issues resolved. So when you make a post, the first line of defense on Facebook's side is their AI, and it's going to look at that post, and it's going to look at all the data and all the policies it knows, and it's going to see if that post is within policy. And if it's not within policy, that's when you get that first email saying that you've broken policy, here's a link, fix it. The problem is, it's an AI. An AI, why they are incredibly powerful and they're incredibly good at doing lots of monotonous automated tasks, they need to be trained. And sometimes they're not trained correctly. Sometimes they don't have enough data and they're still in the training process. But that results in false flags. And so lots of our clients have been falsely flagged by this AI for policy violations they didn't actually commit. And so that gets you that first ding, which in itself wouldn't be too bad, because when you appeal that now goes to a human. So automatically your ad is being seen by a human if you appeal the process. The problem is these humans are in Facebook customer support, and they're not very familiar with like what advertisers are trying to do on Facebook, how we're saying things on Facebook. They just have a troubleshooting guide and a book of policies, and they're going to go line by line, just like when you call Comcast to fix your internet. They're going to go through the various steps, and if it's outside of the steps, it's not going to get covered. So they follow all their steps, they look, and they're like, yep, it's out of policy, sorry. And they make that final verdict and they shut you down. The problem is they were only following their book. They have no room, it's just black and white, no gray areas. And so you, the business owner, kind of suffer from that. And at that point, normally, that is where your story ends. They have made their verdict and you are shut down. Worst case scenario, your entire Facebook is shut down forever and you have no recourse. You cannot get back on Facebook. So how do we fix that problem? Well, that's where J. Miller Marketing and similar Blueprint certified agencies step in, because we have been certified as Blueprint specialists. We have an actual human representative at Facebook, and this human representative at Facebook, their goal is to work with our business and our clients to make sure we're running Facebook ads optimally. And so their aim is completely different than the customer service angle, which is just trying to see if these ads are in policy or not. They're actually trying to get us up on Facebook and placing ads. So their vested interest is getting, of course, that ad money. But the benefit is now we have a human who can go talk to the other humans on the policy team and say, hey, these people are a legit business. I've looked at their policy. Their posts totally within our policies. Everything is good. I know you said it's the final verdict, but look again and you'll see that you're wrong. And so we've brought in our Facebook rep for many of these cases, and she's been able to look and say, yes, you guys are in policy. I'm so sorry you've been errantly flagged for something like low quality e-commerce is probably the biggest one we get flagged for. And that is when Facebook thinks that you are making a post about some sort of like an item of clothing that you're selling online, and it looks really great in the pictures, but when somebody buys it and they get it at their house, it's just really some junk from China. And so that's low quality e-commerce, and that seems to be a lot of what our clients in the clothing retail space are getting flagged for. Doesn't make a lot of sense, as first, our clients are not e-commerce, they're actually driving for brick and mortar, and two, it's not low quality at all, it's actually very high quality and brand name stuff. So very errant flag, but we have been able to get our Facebook rep over there to talk to their policy teams and get us reinstated. The best part about this reinstatement is we now get a note put on your account, and so it says if they ever get flagged for this again, it is a false flag. They are actually in policy, and it's the AI needs to learn some more. And so we've seen a reduction in that amount of your posts getting flagged or shut down, because we now have that back end note telling the human back there that yes, they are in policy. Even though your little book doesn't cover it, they're in policy. And so it's just a benefit of working with a legitimate agency with a blueprint certification, an agency that's put the time and effort into establishing a partnership with Facebook, that we can get these sorts of issues resolved. So I'm sure there are a lot of you guys out there who have had these issues before. Maybe it's time to visit the comments. Tell me one of these nightmare issues you've had, and maybe we can get it solved for you by reaching out to our Facebook rep. So yes, comment your nightmares below. Until next week, I will talk to you later. Consider that mic dropped.